It looks like we finally have some tangible evidence of some changes for MLB The Show 24. It's been kind of a weird marketing scheme that they've been going with for MLB The Show 24 coming into the game. They have not really shown anything. It feels like they've been really tight-lipped about it. As I'm recording this video, I think we're like maybe 18 days away from the early release launch of MLB The Show 24, which is crazy to think about. We're coming up on that, but we really know nothing about the game so far. Now, MLB The Show did drop a gameplay trailer along with a blog post. Now, it's not a ton of stuff, albeit, but there is some new things that we should talk about for gameplay changes for MLB The Show 24. Following the link that MLB The Show 24 posted on Twitter today, like I said, it'll take you to the gameplay trailer. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys if you have not seen it yet. I cannot post any audio, unfortunately, so just bear with me on that. Pretty much, it's just going over some of the players that they've shown from some of the promotional stuff. We got Vladimir Guerrero, Josh Hader, Bryce Harper showing some of the hair. We got Julio Rodriguez with the home run celebration. Derek Jeter, obviously his storylines are coming to MLB The Show 24. Josh Gibson and some other Negro League legends as well. Kind of a short thing. It seems like all the gameplay trailers are getting shorter and shorter and shorter, unfortunately. So that all it was. I think it's about 30 seconds long right there. So nothing too long from the gameplay trailer, but they did drop a blog post to talk about some of the new gameplay changes. So starting off with the blog post, they talk about a ton of new animations coming to MLB The Show 24. It seems like these happen every single year. This year, they said they have roughly 400 new animations and logic improvements that should address some issues with fielder urgency. I feel like fielder urgency has been a problem for MLB The Show for a very long time. They've talked about updating it for a long time as well, and I feel like it kind of always stays the same. So it'll be very interesting to see how this actually changes. Sometimes it just feels like the fielders don't care about runners on base, especially if you have somebody out in center field or in the outfield trying to throw somebody at home. They double clutch the ball. There's a lot of weird animation with that. So hopefully with this, it'll fix some of that. They also have some new variety for first baseman as well. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip that they have right here. It's just showing a little bit of the gameplay that will happen right here. So they have it set up where you have a runner on second. They get the ground ball to the shortstop, then to first base. And the first base actually is quick enough to throw the runner out at first, or at home, I should say. This has been a problem in MLB The Show for a very long time. A lot of people cheese runs like that. Or if you have runners on first and second, you turn a double play. The first baseman gets the ball and they can't throw home because the runner, your opponent, is coming around in third base and they go home. You can never get them out for some reason. It never works. So it is really cool to see that they are actually making an attempt to fix that, because a lot of people cheese runs that way and it gets super annoying. So that's a really good thing I've seen with that. They have some new pitcher animations as well. They're going to be talking about the disengagement rule. So it's going to be interesting to see how they put that into effect in the game. Are they going to give you, I think it's 3 pickoffs on the third one. If you don't get them out, then it's called a balk. I wonder if they'll be ending up doing that. They said there'd be a fake throw to potentially nab the runners. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that works out, the pickoffs and everything, because that could get a little bit crazy in the game. As you guys know, pickoffs are kind of an endless thing right now in the game. Kind of gets really annoying. And then lastly, we have base sizes. So they have finally made the bases bigger in the game. I think they said that they want to do it last year, but they didn't have enough time to finish that out. So that might mean we see some more stolen bases. Just like in real life, you saw a bunch of stolen bases in Major League Baseball. We'll see if maybe they'll have some more in the game or more people try to attempt it. Now, one of the other big changes coming this year has to do with the pinpoint pitching mechanic. Now, if you guys don't know much about Pinpoint, essentially, if you guys see what's on the screen right here, you use your analog to move it around and you try to get a perfect input for the Pinpoint. Now, they have this thing called a PAR, which is the perfect accuracy region. So essentially, if you get a perfect pitch, it would go inside of that. For some reason in 23, it could still be touching the perfect region, but then it would still go outside of it. It was kind of weird. So what they're trying to do is turn that back a little bit and make sure it actually goes where you guys are putting it. For breaking pitches such as a 12-6 curveball, will always land within the perfect region and will no longer just touch the par, but will have a portion of the baseball inside. So what they're trying to say right there is you're not just going to have pitches that are touching it on the outside, but they will be on the inside. It looks like it will just be breaking pitches as well. It seems like those ones are the hardest ones to replicate to a degree. Fastballs, I don't know if they consider breaking pitches. I assume it's probably curveballs and sliders, but every pitch kind of breaks, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I assume sinkers, fastballs, cutters, changeups will kind of all stay the same within the park, you can still go outside of that, which I still don't agree with, but it is cool that they are making some updates to the breaking pitches and making it a little bit more accurate. Now, another thing they're doing for pinpoint pitching is they are actually going to be flipping it or inversing the pitching meter that you guys see for pinpoint. So right now, every one of them goes the exact same way no matter what a righty or lefty on the mound. But when the lefty's on the mound, it's going to go the opposite way now, which I never really thought about to a degree. I never really thought like they would have to change that. But the more I think about it, I think it's a perfect thing to throw in the game. Obviously, it adds a little bit more skill gap to it, makes it a little bit tougher, so it is cool to see them add that in there. And probably the biggest update, honestly, to all this is that they've changed how sinkers are actually being thrown. So this year's game, I think you go down and up or something like that. It was pretty easy to replicate. It wasn't hard at all. Now with this year's sinker that they're going to do for 23, you go over, down, and then up. So it's kind of like a splitter, but turned sideways on how they do it. Now, I think over time, it'll be easy to get. I don't think it'll be that hard, but definitely in the beginning, it'll be a little bit different. Will this alleviate the fact that some people might not throw sinkers as much anymore? What to find out, we won't know until we actually get into the game. They also added a lefty knuckle curve and a slurve, but again, that's just going to the lefty side of the way. Again, it's really cool to see this. I think it's a good warranted thing to throw into the game, so I really like that actually. And I'm sure you guys are wondering about hitting and gameplay for MLB The Show 24. What they have told us is that they've received very positive feedback around most of the aspects of hitting, which I actually agree with. I'm not saying it's perfect. You can always get a lot better, but I think it's way better than we had in 22 and 21. Back into 20 when they had some pretty good gameplay, especially early access. If you guys have played that, you guys know how good that was. I don't think it was that great, but I do think 23's hitting was very good. I don't think it was as fluky as it was in years past. Now, foul balls are still kind of a huge problem in the game. I don't think they're as bad as what they were before, but that's something I hope that they kind of change. They did say hitting balance remains largely unchanged, so I'm really hoping that foul balls will be like maybe the one thing they really do change. I think they've gotten to a point on this engine that we have right now, trying to keep in last gen along with current gen, that there's not a lot of changes they can make. I don't think we'll see a huge change to the hitting engine until we go completely current gen. And when I say that, I mean PS5 and Xbox Series X. It just kind of seems like it's at its wit right now, and it's only as far as we can go with it. So hopefully when the game actually goes to that current gen, we'll see a big hitting update and hopefully see some even better things from that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before we go is they are going to drop a blog on Thursday. That'll be this coming Thursday, February 29th, talking about Diamond Dynasty. Now, I don't know if they'll go into more things with gameplay within that as well, but there will be a blog all about Diamond Dynasty. We'll finally figure out if Sets and Season will be coming back, kind of how they're going to be doing content with that. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. There will be a feature premiere for that as well. I think that'll be a little bit more towards the actual release of the game, but I'm excited to learn more about Diamond Dynasty. Again, I feel like we haven't learned too much about the game, so it'll be really cool to learn more about it. But let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about these gameplay changes. Do you guys think it's enough? Do you guys think it's too little? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.